Howdy y'all, hope you're having a good day. Silver Trade here again with another video. Today I've got some stuff I'm really excited to talk to y'all about, but really quick, check out what Roaring Kitty said quite a while ago.
That I was thinking too. I was having a laugh, like, oh, if you want to be viewed as a high margin growth stock, right? High margin growth company and stuff. Well, maybe the quick way to that is to just issue shares like Tesla. just issue some shares and you'll be viewed that. I joke, but I'm not even totally joking on that front. Like, we talked about this a while back. Like, it can be opportunistic to issue shares, raise some cash if you're serious about really transforming the business. We've talked about this a number of times on the streams. About even Cohen might propose this. You would raise that cash balance, and you would go gangbusters, and you would just be deploying that cash all over the place. No matter how big their cash balance was, if you were very, very serious about it, and that was the path you wanted to go down, you would issue a ton of shares, raise a ton of cash, and go. And you would go at it, right? And so I wouldn't even put it past. We don't know Cohen's full plan, but like, it wouldn't be crazy to me if that were part of Cohen's plan. Like, raise a ton of cash and do this in earnest. Now, this at the money offering isn't anything crazy big. It's nothing nuts or anything like that. What was it for? I think the quick take was it 100 million or something.
If 100 million's not big to him, 20 million ain't big to me. Let's not forget the last two times that GameStop has diluted. On May 17th, the stock completely shrugged it off and kept moving north afterwards, even into the dilution. On June 2nd, it did have a slight pullback, but then was again above $25 per share 2 weeks later. People have been joking on Reddit about maybe Ryan Cohen has found a quote-unquote infinite money loop because, I mean, there's an offering, it goes down, gravitates back towards $20 per share. But please remember, none of this is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. This video is made for entertainment purposes only. XRT is at 633% short. GME, we had a stupid amount of calls being bought, had a bunch of them sold, and then a bunch more sold. Had some more bought into earnings, and then more bought into earnings, and then these last couple of days, the calls have obviously been getting sold off pretty hard. And yes, the typical answer for is dilution good is no, but let's not forget Ryan Cohen is the one deciding to do the dilution, and nobody owns more stock than Ryan Cohen. He's not going to screw himself. And like Roaring Kitty said, if you want to be a high growth company just like Tesla, here's Tesla since IPO. At IPO, they had about 760 million shares, and it has steadily gone up every year because they just continue to issue shares. And we all know that has worked out very well for Tesla, especially since 2020. If you had $10,000 in Tesla 10 years ago, that would be $2.1 million today. Here's a list of Roaring Kitty's account balance since 2021. He was at 113K, then 230K, all the way down to 83K, then all the way down to 42K. I mean, that is absolutely absurd. Went up to 206 or 215K. Then to 2.5 million, 1.3 million. I mean, he has had an absolutely wild ride. He lost $30 million at one point and didn't even worry about selling. Then he worked his way back to 30 and then to 40, 175 million, or maybe 223 million. Diamond friggin' balls. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate every one of y'all. I just want to make a quick video because I really don't think this is the wrong move. It was the right move for Tesla and a lot of other growth companies, but having a large amount of cash on hand is incredibly important. We see $4 billion like we see $1 million. Like, we don't really understand how much money that actually is. If they think they need more money, those are the big shots in the world. If they need it, I mean, maybe they even found an infinite money glitch, right? Just joking, obviously. But thank you guys so much. God bless you. Have a great one.
Seems to align. Is this it? Do I got it open? Where is it? Yeah, about 100 million bucks, right? Which just so happens to be a bit larger than what the debt coming due in March, right? It just so happens to coincide with that. I do think. Are we still selling off here? I do think the market tends to struggle with long-term optionality. If you heard in the conference call, the market management team was making abundantly clear the purpose of this at the money offering is not because they need it. They said a whole bunch of stuff, but that's it. It's not because they need it, right? That's an opportunity. It's a potentially opportunistic raise, right? I believe them. It's for for optionality reasons. They said that where I'm like, oh, that's great. At least they're getting that. The market's knee-jerk reaction to something like that is like, oh, I don't know how to model that. But you know me about that upside optionality. I'm like, oh, that's terrific. But then I'm like, why even stop at 100? You know what I mean? And then I'm like, maybe you stop at 100 because you are doing it for a specific purpose. If it relates to some upcoming whatever it might be, whether it's inventory needs or the debt payoff, the debt that's coming due. You know what I mean? Like that's otherwise you go forever. Like don't even stop at 100 million. Keep on going up, because if that price keeps on rising, and I brought this up a number of times with Tesla and Elon Musk and how he may will that company to succeed by way of those equity issuances. And here did they do it today or yesterday or whenever it was? And I'm like, wow, doing it again. Now, it's not the same thing with GameStop, but that's kind of the idea behind some of these. So, but anyway, when I saw it was just as of right now, just the offering price that they're listing is at 100 million. I'm like, all right, maybe it's time to. They just want to have that flexibility, make sure they got all their bases covered the next couple of months, and that way they can have the cash that they have and that they'll generate can be used for whatever, right? I think the market's going to focus on this stuff too much personally. I kind of like that they're kind of going down this path, the optionality side of things, right? That's me. I wouldn't that's the thing. Even if it were higher, the market might still not like that. But someone like me, I'm like, hey, what if that price keeps rising? The stocks, hypothetically, like 20 at 30, boom, issue some shares. That's what you see in Tesla too. Not that it's like a fair comparison, but that's the type of stuff I think about, and that's what effective management teams, they should be thinking about that stuff.